We back on the DK channel, man. Today I'm gonna be breaking down how to make like samples in the style of Griselda or like some old 70s stuff. But let's get straight to it. Alright, so shout out to my dog Alec. He sent me this little starter. Feel me? I ended up just keeping a part at the end. For these type of samples, I really want to emphasize keeping things simple. Even though it's simple, a lot of these samples are going to be carried by like the texture of how, you feel me, like how vintage does it sound, my guy? All right, so I pitched it up 400 cents, and this is how I chopped it. Then I added this piano. Now I took the MIDI for the piano and just copy and paste it for this Wurlitzer. Pretty sure I got this joint from like Keyscape. Then I added a little bit of ambiance just to give it like texture, add like a certain vibe. Now when having like simple loops, man, you want to make sure that they're very textured. Adding simple textures in samples goes a long way, especially when trying to make something realistic. I added this little 70s accent. They tend to do this in a lot of tracks produced in like the 70s, 60s. The next thing I did after that was I added some vintage sounding drums. I kept the pattern really simple. Alright, these are live recorded drum sounds, so making sure your sound selection is on point is really key to making authentic sounding samples. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing crazy. Whenever you're making samples, you really want to have bouncing rhythm, bro. Alright, next thing I did was I just added this guitar strum. I play this on my electric guitar, and I use the little whammy joint to make it sound like wobbly. All right, now for effects, all I did was I just smacked the EQ on it, and I panned it to the left a little bit. Next thing I played with my electric guitar was this bass pattern. As you can see, everything that I added here, bro, is really simple. Like, this is, bro, that's all it is, bro. This is literally one strum. This is all literally like one chord, bro. But even though it's simple, I'm making sure that the texture is there and also rhythm, because rhythm is what's really going to catch somebody's ear. The only effects that I did was I just took down some of the lows. And usually I never pan bass, but for this sample I just ended up doing it anyway, because yeah. Next thing I did was I added another simple pattern. This is everything we got so far. The biggest takeaway for me that helped me make samples like this is me realizing that when if you take like 5 simple ideas, when they're together, they'll sound complex, but they're really not. Now this was the main idea. After I made this, I started throwing in ear candy. So the first thing that I added was this synth. A lot of this stuff is really simple, it's just layering. Added these strings.
Nice.
Next thing I did was added this bell. Along with the word lister, adding this is just like the cherry on top. Next thing we did was we added this accent on the one. Then I added this lead. I wanted to add variation to the lead, so I just extended it past the normal 8 bars. But again, there's nothing crazy. It's really simple. I just added this in the lower octaves. Alright, now the last thing for ear candy is I just added this little clavinet. Now for mixing, I really didn't add anything besides EQ. Most of this is leveling and panning. For the bass, EQ. For the strings, I just added some reverb. For the piano, all I did was I added lossy, man. Oh yeah, and this vocal. I'm saying it sounds like it's just about to get chopped and it's cut off, but it helps the loop stay like real catchy. Alright, now for the effects for the vocal, it really did not need this many effects, but I used this little vocal bender, took it down 2 semitones, some fruity compressor, took out some of the highs, took out the lows, a little bit of the mids. Whenever I add this little preset, I just make it sound like it's kind of like it's in a room. And I added this shep, took down some of the highs, increased some of the mids, took up some of the lows. Also, I turned on this drive so it gives it like a little hint of distortion. And lastly, I threw on another EQ, just taking out some of the lows. Alright, now for master effects, I added Abbey Road vinyl, turn this little knob up to give it like a Workman effect or like detune. I added these little clicks and pops to make it sound more realistic, and I messed with these 2 knobs a little bit. Alright, now sheps on the master is high key sauce, bruh. I just turned some of the lows up, some of the mids. I don't think I did nothing here. After that, I added this mastering, clean, and open preset in Kramer's. Then I added the stereo imager. Hey, God bless y'all. Be easy though.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.